Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new review, continuing the review of the Death Guard. And this time we are going to look at the different units from the elites. So we start with the Noxious Blightbringer. This is the guy with the big bell, if I'm not wrong. So the Noxious Blightbringer is equipped with a plasma pistol and does not have options to change the weaponry. So you go with the plasma pistol, the curse plague bell, and then they have blight and crack grenades. The bell is used as a weapon in close combat, nothing spectacular, just doing 2 damage. Is death, of course, have death to the false emperor and disgusting resilient, and have the toxin of misery. Units must subtract 1 to their leadership whilst they are within 7 inches of Noxious Blightbringers, and Psychers might subtract 2 instead. Units must subtract 1 from their leadership. So all units. Or it's not saying Death Guard, so it's quite interesting. In addition, if a Death Guard unit is within 7 inches of this model, when it advances, roll 2 dice and discard. So the only good point is giving a little bit more of movement to the Death Guard. It's costing 63 points, and then you need to add on top the plasma pistol. That is, the plasma pistol is 15 points if I'm not wrong. It's 7 points, so it's 70 points for this guy. To be fair, I'm not very. I don't find him very impressive, but as it comes on the box, I have one of them. And the next guy we have is the Fold Blight Spawn. He's equipped with a Plague Sprayer that is quite a dangerous weapon. Is a flamer that have strength 2d6 minus 3 and 3. So means that normally average strength 7 with AP minus 3 and 3, it's able to kill almost anything. The plague is a plague weapon, so it means that you reroll once, and this weapon automatically hits, as I said, is like a flamer, and roll to determine the strength of this weapon after selecting the target, but before determining how many shots. The only thing is that maybe you are unlucky with the strength, but yeah, it's quite dangerous, and 3 damage is quite nasty. On top, he also have some special rules. So say Unholy Death Head. Each each full Blight spawns carry a single Unholy Death Head grenade. Once per battle, a full Blight spawn or another friendly Death Guard character within 3 inches of him can throw, and this is very interesting because can be thrown by another character and you don't lose your shooting. Can throw a Blight grenade that is 2d6 instead of d6. So it's also have a special Blight grenade, and revolting stench. Enemy units that charge this turn and are within 7 inches of this model at the start of the fight phase are struck by a stench so full that they falter, losing their impetus. Such a unit does not. So it's also taking away the ability to strike first when you are charging. So this guy is really interesting, and the costing points of the full spawn is 77 points. So now I need to check if the Plague Sprayer have a cost. The Plague Sprayer is 0. So 77 points. I think this guy is really worth the points. Of course, have disgusting resilient and death to the false emperor. So this guy is really a very interesting choice to include in your army, and I think it's much better than the previous one. Then we have the Biologus Putrifier. This guy is equipped with injector pistol, plague knife, hyper blight grenades, and crack grenades. So the hyper blight grenades are is like a blight grenade but have damage 2 instead of 1, and the injector pistol it's a pistol that has strength 4 minus 1. D6 damage, only range 3 inches, so it's very short range, and against vehicles does not only do 1 damage. So it's really to kill multi-wound characters or units. So really, it's mainly to target characters. He will have 3 attacks, so it's not spectacular. Have of course the resistance resilience death to the false imperial, but also our interesting thing is that if this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a dice before removing it from the battlefield. On a 4+, it racks of grenades explode, and each unit at 7 inches suffers a mortal wound, unless they are Norgal keyword. So it's really interesting that, because it's not normally will not harm you and will harm the enemy, and increase the strength and damage characteristic of all black grenades carried by friendly Death Guard units by one whilst they are within 3 inches of the Bureau's Putrifier. In addition, whilst a unit is within 3 inches of this model, each wound roll of 6 plus made when attacking with blind grenades inflicts mortal wounds. So it's also making stronger all the blind grenades around him. So it's a booster. I don't think, and it's a guy designed to kill characters or multi-wound infantry, or multi-wound anything that is not vehicle. Then we have the Plague Surgeon. Be aware that any of these can change the equipment, so it's coming with a ball pistol, a bell sword, and blood and crack grenades. He has the Titan Narthetium, so it's improving the disgusting and resilience, so you can reroll once on the disgusting and resilient. Not bad option for each model at 3 inches, for any that got infantry units within 3 inches of this model. And have the Gen Seed that add 1 to all hit and wound rolls made for this model in the fight phase. Well, so this he knows it have +1 to hit and +1 to wound again, Space Marines. So quite interesting, and only against enemy and not chaos. Only Adeptus Astartes infantry and Adeptus Astartes bikers. So it's a close combat guy. It's increasing your disgusting resilience. Not spectacular, rolling ones. It's better than nothing. But yeah, if you start piling in on top, so it's adding some more resiliency. Then we have the Taliman, and all of these are new characters that have come with the codex or recently, since the launch of Dark Imperium. When attacking with this weapon, choose one of the. So have a plasma pistol. Is equipped with blight grenades and crack grenades. Then have the Festering Zealot. You can reroll fail hit rolls in the fight phase. Friendly Death Guard units that are within 7 inches of this model. This is quite interesting. Okay, so it's quite good, this one. And see, all this is very short range. All these characters are designed to go into the close combat or very close to the close combat, so they're really good there. The only problem we see is that they will need transport because they are quite slow. All have movement 5, and they have toughness 5, all of them, so it's making them quite strong. The 7-fold chant. And this is quite interesting when you do a command, when you are using a stratagem from Death Guard, not a generic one, have to be from the Death Guard. You roll 2d6, on a 7 you recover the command points spent on this stratagem. What is quite interesting. And now we go to real units. We have the Death Row Terminators. These are close combat Terminators. They have a strength and toughness 5, what is over average. They have 2 wounds, and they have 3 and 4 attacks for the champion. And leadership 8 and 9, what is quite high. So they are almost small characters with only 2 wounds, to say in that way. They are with cataphractic armor, so they have the 4+ invulnerable phase, safe. They are also friendly characters. Death Guard characters within 3 inches of a friendly Death Row Terminator unit at 1 to the attack characteristic, so it's boosting the attacks of your own characters, except Mortarion, that cannot be boosted. Is a silent bodyguard, so you can intercept shooting to your characters, and this is mainly interesting for close combat or when the enemy is using snipers, so they can try to block the snipers. Yeah, they are within 3 inches of the character and they can teleport. So I see 2 ways to use them, because not all the characters can teleport. So you can use it together with other characters that can teleport, and they teleport next to the enemy. They can go, for example, with Typhus or a character with a Cataphractii or Terminator armor. Or the other way is to put them in a Land Rider and go together with other characters into the close combat. They will increase the resiliency of the characters, and they are quite devastating in the close combat. The melee weapon have +3 strength, so they are striking as strength 8, -3 D3 damage, so they are really dangerous with 3 and 4 attacks. The costing points of these guys, I guess is quite expensive. So just give me a minute, checking on the book. So it's 50 points per character. So yeah, it's going, if you put 4, it's going to be 200 points, and then you have to pay the Plague Sport Gauntlet. The Plague Sport is mainly a shooting, but it's almost anecdotic. Okay, and it's costing 8 points. So really 8 points for this, I consider this too much, because strength 3 and damage 1, even if it's automatically, it's almost nothing. But it's 6 hits, so it's like small flamers. All of them have like small flamers. It's not that bad, but yeah, 8 points for each makes them 58 points, and then you have to pay the Man Reaper, that is 17 points. So it's 75 points per Terminator. It's quite a lot of points, to be fair. I think they are too expensive for what they bring into the combat. And then we have the Blight Lord Terminators. These are normally the standard Terminators, but they also go in Cataphractii armor. They have the normal profile for a Death Guard, with the 2 wounds typically from Terminator and the 2 attacks from the Terminators. They can be equipped with different options. They can go with all the combi weapons. It's very similar to the Chaos Terminators, but then the only thing is that the special weapons are quite different. They have the Blight Launcher, that is like a plague weapon with a strength 6, -2 AP, damage D3. This is quite interesting as a SAW 2. I still think the Reaper Autocannon is quite a good choice. And then you have the Plague Spewer as a heavy weapon. A special weapon 1 for every 5 Terminators. I think in that case you can use the Blight Launcher. It's quite interesting one, and it goes well against other Terminators or other multi-wound infantry. And they have to go equipped with the Bell Sword or the Bubonic Axe. If I have to choose, I think the Bubonic Axe is a much balanced weapon. Both of them are plague weapons, and the Bubonic, yeah, both of them are plague weapons. And then you have the Flare of Corruption, and I don't know who has the Flare of Corruption. I guess it's the boss of the unit. Let me check. Okay, I don't have it here, so maybe it's an option here. Any model for every 5 models that you may replace a combi bolter with a Bubonic Axe or combi bolter and the Bell Sword by okay, you can have 1 Flare of Corruption. The Flare of Corruption is quite strong. The strength +2, -2 AP, damage 2, is a plague weapon, and make these 3 hit rolls for each attack. What is quite interesting. So you want to put this on your champion of the unit. Excess damage from this weapon is not lost. Instead, keep allocating damage to another model in the target unit until either the damage has been allocated or on top is spilling the damage over other models in the enemy unit, what is quite strong. So really this Flare of Corruption, you want 1, and really these guys are designed to go into the close combat as well, or into very close range. Just 4 points, very quick. Let's check here the points. Just curious to know, the Flare of Corruption is 10 points, so it's not neither expensive, it's less than a Power Fist, so it's really a very strong weapon. So this unit of Terminator is quite interesting. On top they go on Cataphractii armor. Each one is costing 38 points, +2 for the combi bolter. It's 40 points, so this means that is 200. Then you need to add the bubonic axes. I will add 4 is 220, and then the flail is 230. So with that you have a good option. If you want, you can add some, maybe you can add a flamer and go into the close combat. So what the flamer is called, the plague spewer. The plague spewer is costing you 19 points. So you will normally equip it this. You will go around between 230 and 250 to 60, and you have quite a strong unit. It's going to be a pain in the neck for the enemy. I think you should deep strike where it's doing the most damage and trying to cause the most problems on the enemy. And I think, yeah, this is the way to go. So I really like the Blight Lord Terminators. If you deep striking them, you can also deep strike with another character next to them, but I like them more than the new Terminators, and I think, yeah, they are cheaper and more versatile from my point of view. So I really like these guys. And the next option we have is the Halberd. I will not spend too much time. It's the same Halberd we have in the Chaos. So it's yeah, it have movement 8. So it's one of the most mobile things we have here. And yeah, it's like a term Dreadnought, the Halberd. Always, it's interesting to remember that the Dreadnought has not Death to the False Emperor and has not Disgusting and Resilient. On the other side, he's crazed. He has the battering onslaught. Add 1 attack. Add 1 to this model attacks. If it's equipped with 2 melee weapons, and have explodes. To be fair, I will use him as a shooting platform. I think the option is to go maybe the twin as cannon and the missile launcher on the other side, or you go hybrid with a shooting weapon and a power fist. I always like them to give some supporting fire, to be fair. There are different ways to use them. You can use, as I said, with to try to kill other vehicles. I think it's a great platform. I think there is best option. So I don't think in the Death Guard is shining a lot the Hellroot, although it's much better than it used to be in the past. And then we have the 2 elite demon choices. The first one are the Beasts of Nurgle. They are demons. They have demonic ritual, and they also have Disgusting Resilient, being aware that they are not Death Guard, and they don't have the keyword Death Guard, so you can lose some of your options if you take them. Of course, they are Nurgle. They have they are of course a close combat unit with a strength 5, 5 wounds, a strength 4, toughness 5, 5 wounds. Sorry, D6 attacks. And the thing that is interesting is the Beasts of Nurgle sometimes feel left out of the fun and so bound to join whenever they can, so the unit can perform heroic intervention as they were characters. This is quite a curious one. And the other thing that is very interesting is that roll d6 for each enemy unit that falls back within 1 inch of these guys, and with 4+ they suffer a mortal wound. Not impressive, but they are quite cheap. I think the Beast the Beast Nurgle is 38 points, so I will add, yeah, it's quite anecdotic. And then we have the Possessed, and the Possessed are again another close combat unit. They are quite fast and with movement 7 compared to the rest of the things that we have with Nurgle. They don't have Disgusting Resilient because they are Death Guard. I think, yeah, they are Death Guard, but they don't have the Disgusting Resilient, so it means that they don't have the equivalent to the Mark of Khorne. Nurgle, sorry. All models within, they all have 5 plus invulnerable save, on top of the 3+ save that they normally have, and roll d3 when a unit of Possess is selected to attack. In the fight phase, the result is the attack characteristic of each model in the unit. So they have these 3 attacks. I'm not impressed with them, although they have -2 IP, what is quite strong. So, and with that we finish all the elite choices, and next will be the fast attack that I will do it in a different video. So just making a recap, we have, for me, most of the elite is for close. So the only elite that is most shooting is the Hellroot, and the rest are characters and more close combat units or Terminators that are a little bit of everything. So Terminators, definitely, I will think where they shine are going to be more on the close combat and to make a lot of the disrupting on the enemy. So I will use them to really deep strike behind the enemies and try to do as much damage as you can. And then we have the characters. So the Death Row Terminators, I'm not very impressed with them, unless you need to protect some very expensive characters with them, or you want to do really a hard shot. But 75 points is a lot of points for each Death Row Terminator. So yeah, it's 50 points plus equipment is 75, is a lot of points. And you put 4 by 300 points is a lot of points invest there. I'm not convinced on the Death Row Terminators, although I like a lot the minis. So if I have to choose from the list, I will choose as an option 1. I really like the full light spawners. I think for 77 points, this guy is super strong, and I think is one of the best things we have here on the elites. The weapon, this type of super flamer, it's super interesting. Assault D6 with 2d6 and damage makes him very strong. It can go together with a lot. It can go together with the zombies guys, not the plague marines. Sorry, I went too fast. I'm trying to find. Go together with the. No, okay, I lost it. No, but the Poxwalkers. This is what I was looking. So he can go together with these guys and be protected behind them. I think it's really this is my first option, and then I like a lot not the Biologus, the next one, the Plague Surgeon. I think is also a quite interesting one to increase the resiliency of your units to castle around the Surgeon. So I think these are the two characters, and as a unit, as I said, I like a lot. I will choose the Blight Lord Terminators. If I'm not very impressed, and to be fair, the only guy that I really like is the guy with the strong flamer, because it's quite interesting for 77 points. But this is all for the elite choices. I think, yeah, not very impressed on what we find here. I think the Terminators are really are the other thing that can be quite strong. I think we are going to have better choices on the fast attack and as well on the heavy support. So that's all. Please let me know what do you think. Let me know how do you use. Just summarizing, all the characters are mainly there to boost other of your units, to give support to your units, and then to give a little bit of additional punch into the close combat or into the short range. Blight Lord Terminators, really, I think they can be used really as a strong disrupting unit. The Death Row Terminators, another disrupting unit, but I think they are too, they are very strong, so they can be very strong killing other characters. With strength 8, they can be very strong to hit other characters. So they are really character hunters, but I find much more versatile the Black Lord Terminators. And then we have the Hellroot as a, I will say, as you can equip it as you want, but I will use it more as a shooting platform, because I think you have enough close combat on all the other units. And again, we have demons that are mainly possessed, are mainly for close combat abilities. And that's all what I find here. So here we don't have an objective holder, and we don't have other functions, and more really units to go and to face the enemy into the short range. Yeah, that's all for now. Please leave the comments below. Let me know what do you think. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye!